Getting started on a healthy diet is pretty daunting. Everyone's recommending different diets. It all seems to contradict, and from there, you don't know what to do. Let's go ahead and cut through the clutter. But before we get started, I'm Dr. Zyrowski, and I'm here to transform your health naturally, because true health only comes naturally. When you first start your journey to healthy eating, the typical conversation that comes up is macros. And let me tell you, macros are so confusing. Everybody recommends different amounts, and the calculations alone are enough to make your head spin. And when you're at work and you're trying to grab that quick lunch, you don't have time to consider the macros in your food. Heck, you don't even have time to consider what a macro is at that point. And by the way, if you don't know what a macro is, that's basically looking at the amount of fats, protein, and carbohydrates that you're eating daily. Look, I know how easy it is to get caught up in all the numbers and then quit altogether because it's way too frustrating to keep up with. Here's what I want you to do. When starting your healthy regimen, keep it simple. Think meat and veggies. When you fill your plate with meat and veggies, you're automatically making better choices and healthy choices. And then from there, this allows your stress levels to drop significantly, allows you to stick to a healthy eating plan, and it also really stops you from getting caught up in all the subtle details that would otherwise stop you from taking action. Did you know that the average American consumes over 300 grams of carbohydrates per day? Think about it. You go to your family or friend's house for dinner, and when it's time to eat, you grab a plate and you look around at the food selection. What you're gonna find is that there's typically a protein and a lot of different carbs. So what you do is you go and you grab your chicken, that's your protein, and then you look at what you're gonna put on your plate after that. And you realize you have to choose from rice, corn, mashed potatoes, and a croissant. Now, I don't know if anybody else ever experiences this, but it seems that anytime I eat anywhere other than my house, this is what happens. Many people believe that in order to be healthy, that you have to drop your carb intake all the way down to zero. The truth is if you're an individual who falls into that category of eating 300 grams or more of carbohydrates per day, you'll start improving your health just by dropping down to 250 grams of carbs per day. And then from there, you can slowly work down to consuming 100 grams or less of carbohydrates per day, and you'll make massive improvements in your overall health. When it comes to carbohydrates, it's not an all or nothing approach. We have to focus on bringing our carbohydrates to a low level, focus on quality carbohydrates that are nutrient dense, and from there, we'll get great results with our health. Now, sometimes throughout the day, you're gonna get hungry. This may be between meals, this may be during or after a meal, maybe you just don't feel like you got enough, and it's so easy to go grab those soul foods. And you know what I'm talking about. It's the chips, it's the bread, it's the sweet treats like the cookies. But what we have to do is skip the junk food. When you are starting to feel this way, go and put some extra salad on your plate. Grab yourself some celery, dip it in hummus, and eat that. The best part about it is that it's gonna be low calorie, it's gonna be nutrient dense, and it also is going to curb your hunger. Did you know that the average American consumes over 130 pounds of sugar per year? So what does this mean for us? This means that sugar is in everything. Sugar is in foods that you would have never expected. Imagine this, you go and you buy a green smoothie, really proud that you've made some better choices with your lunch, and then one day you look at the ingredients on it, only to find out that it has 30 grams of sugar in it. I've actually been there before. Let's look at another scenario. You know, you're going out with your friends and your coworkers, and for lunch, every time you go to your favorite restaurant, you get a good, healthy salad. Lots of greens, lots of protein. Then one day, probably about 3 months down the road, you look at the ingredients in that salad only to find out there's 10 grams of sugar between the seasoning and also the dressing in that salad. Why? This is so crazy. The food industry has taken perfectly good food and put a ton of sugar in everything, basically to make you more addicted. So if we want to have good health, one of the things that we have to do is we have to always look at labels and make sure that we're eating sugar-free. This is absolutely essential for anybody who wants to take control of their health. Now go ahead and picture this. You're home for a long day's work, and your kids are finishing up their homework. And all of a sudden they start asking, Mom, Dad, what's for dinner? You're thinking to yourself, okay, well, let's get dinner going. You walk up to the fridge, you open it up, and you just freeze. Oh crap, there's nothing in it and the fridge is empty. So at this point, we have two options. One, we can cook up the chicken nuggets and the pizza that's in the freezer, or we can order takeout, but at the end of the day, it's all processed food and we know we shouldn't be eating it. See, at the end of a long day, the last thing we wanna be doing is running to the grocery store, grabbing the groceries, groceries, coming home, unpacking them, cooking the dinner, and then cleaning up from the dinner. And at this point, we've already had 2 hours wrapped up into this whole process. This is why having a plan is so important. When you've meal planned, you've shopped accordingly for the entire week, and you're never left high and dry. Now in our house, we shop once a week, and then we also lay out a menu for the entire week. This way, if my wife's busy running around with the kids, if she's stuck in projects at work, I'm stuck in projects at work, we don't walk into the kitchen at night and just panic and stress out because we don't know what we're gonna eat. We always have a plan, and this is a key to eating healthy. Now, if you like these tips, I'm sure you'll love the tips on how to break through a weight loss plateau. You can find that right here. Of course, we know too that if you have high amounts of insulin in the body, it's almost impossible to lose weight because insulin is a fat storing hormone, not a fat burning one.